Hey, everybody, hope you're doing well. So, I'm sure many may have heard of the Fearless Fund and are aware of the affirmative action case, the findings, how it's been struck down, courtesy Edward Bloom. So, here's an article here. It says that it didn't plan to be at the center of a civil rights battle. Then the Fearless Fund was sued. So let me go ahead. I want to kind of discuss this issue, and I have a question for you. Maybe the ladies and gentlemen maybe have an answer because there's something I really, really want to know. And here we have Ariane Simone and Ayanna Parsons in a portrait dated September 28th of 2023. So it says, seated under a spotlight in a darkened room, Ariane Simone is the main attraction. It's a Friday afternoon in September at the Brooklyn leg of Afrotech, one of those multi-city networking events where people exchange personal QR codes and work their elevator pitches into conversation. Here in a sleek, modern minimalist hotel, about 125 mostly Black and under 50 internet economy workers are gathered for what's billed as a fireside chat with Simone. Capital for a cause. As co-founder and CEO of the Fearless Fund, the nation's first venture capital VC firm run by women of color that invests exclusively in tech and consumer goods companies owned by women of color, Simone, age 41, deploys some Mae West level wit as she talks about her work and the disconnect between the fact that Black women are founding businesses at a higher rate than anyone else, yet getting almost negligible share of VC investment. She mentions that Black and Latino owned firms deem low skill borrowers remain roughly half as likely as white owned firms to see non emergency bank loan applications approved. And, she points out, the same Americans have the smallest number of personal contacts who can help them. As a young Donald Trump did, get started with a small loan or a gift of $1 million from a parent. Tell me about it. The questions and commentary go on for about 20 minutes until finally Simone acknowledges the elephant in the room. The reason she and Fearless Fund general partner Ayanna Parsons have had their summer and fall consumed by media appearances. The Read Out with Joy Reid, CBS Morning Show, The View, Good Morning America. In January, Simone debuted a new podcast, Fearlessly Living with Ariane Simone. They've been advised by the civil rights lawyer Ben Crump, among others, to reach as many people as they can. I have a question, Simone says. You all don't want to talk about this crazy lawsuit that I'm in? I have a question too. On August 2nd, the American Alliance for Equal Rights, an organization led by Edward Bloom, the architect of the affirmative action cases decided by the Supreme Court in June, in which the court struck down race-based college admission programs, filed a federal civil rights suit against the Fearless Fund, its management, and its nonprofit arm, the Fearless Foundation. It alleges that Fearless engages in racial discrimination by operating the Fearless Strivers Grant, in which the foundation has awarded $10,000 to $20,000 and business development services to early stage Black woman owned businesses. Quote, our nation's civil rights laws do not permit racial distinctions because some racial groups are represented in various endeavors while others are underrepresented, Blum told Time in an email statement. On September 26, days after the Afrotech talk, a district court in Atlanta rebuffed the Alliance's request to temporarily halt Fearless's program. Then, a few days later, a 3-judge panel on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals granted an injunction putting it on indefinite hold. On January 31st, another 3-judge panel of the 11th Circuit will hear Fearless's attempt to revive the Fearless Strivers program while the case continues at a lower level. Most legal experts expect the case to ultimately reach the Supreme Court. So she says, I have a question. You all don't want to talk about this crazy lawsuit that I'm in? I have a question too. Where are the men at? Where are the men at? Where are the black men at? That's what I'm asking. All these, you got black billionaires. Where are they? Black millionaires, your sports, your business owners. Where are the black men at? Even if you're not in tech. This here, let's try it again. This is the Fearless Fund is the nation's first venture capital VC firm run by women of color. Where are the men at? Can someone please tell me? Warrior, I don't care if they're in an interracial relationship. Where are they to support these women? See, time something happens to the men in the community, guess what? You're gonna have the mammy biscuits and the mammy boots are gonna start to fly. So I have a question. Where are the men at? Why they don't want to talk about it? That's a good question. You know, I kind of wonder why. Because you know what? When it comes to pulling up, especially with that pocketbook, not going to do anything. Why aren't those men there? Let me guess. I'm willing to guess they're not there because they don't care. Where are the men at? But time something happens to a king, oh, we got to do something. All these sports figures, all these black business owners, where are the men? Where are they? As I said before, even that would Goldman Sachs and, I think Aberdeen, all those, it's a good thing, but it's kind of embarrassing. Where are the men? Why aren't they talking about it? Hey, can we help you raise money for the legal fees? And I was searching for the GoFundMe. I heard there was one. I just entered Fearless Fund. If someone is aware of, maybe that's not the name because I couldn't find anything. Please put that down in the comments. But I want to know, where are the men that can help you? Let me guess. They're not there because they don't care. They're not there because they don't care. But time something happens, oh, many black women gonna pull out that pocketbook and get to writing that check and do that cash app. The elephant in the room, nobody wants to probably talk about it because guess what? It's gonna involve resources. Not a whole lot of running your mouth. Resources. You think Edward Bloom just did that by running his mouth? No, that somebody put their money up for it to even get to the Supreme Court. It has to be prepared. It's like, well, I'm gonna call up there and tell them this. So that's my question. I would like to know, where are the men at? See, it's things like this here, a lot of our people don't get behind because they don't see the value. Oh, but you will see. Oh, trust me. Many gonna see right now. People don't realize that you're seeing it right now. I saw a video. They're talking about the layoffs, and always we already know who's what, last hired, first fired. And a Hispanic woman, she said, oh, she mentioned about people of color. Because guess what? What's that saying? When they catch a cold, we get pneumonia. When resources get tight, the people that run the companies, as I said, sure, there's racism and discrimination, but there's also a thing called, and I shouldn't say but, there's also a thing called what? Cultural preservation. That's what I call it. CP and CA. Most people do cultural preservation, looking out for their own. We do CA, cultural annihilation. We don't care. We stump each other out. TDG. But it's things like this here, these efforts, when you have these VC firms, they're trying to get these businesses off the ground. And if it can't do that, maybe they can hire somebody that looks like them. But I know we can't get along. There's so much discrepancy, which it's so much. I never. This is it's ridiculous. The self hatred and the jealousy and the ignorance is so strong. So many don't see the importance of it. When the economy went bad, when they had the first time, March 2020, the pandemic, all the time off. I was staying busy, staying busy, staying busy. I had a man paying all the bills, a boyfriend at that time. Only bills I paid are the ones I want. And I said, no, I want to pay this because I want to accomplish some things on my own. It's like, no, I want to handle this because why? I want to, I can pay for it. But I had a man paying the bills, getting my allowance and all that, a boyfriend. They got out and sitting up watching TV all day. No. That's when I learned to do something different. I said, I'm going to keep my little online business going, keep that going, getting things for that, flipping. Gonna go ahead and put more time into my stock options, learning. That's what I was doing. Planning, telling friends of mine, we need to find a way to make a living. So if this happens again, because to me, that was very alarming. And I don't believe just sitting on my hands and waiting. Let me see what they're going to do. Yeah. Well, I can see what they're going to do. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person who got to be proactive. I'm going to see what I'm going to do is take control of my destiny, at least try to. And I told people that. Some didn't, most didn't listen. They heard me, but hey, whatever. We have to find ways. I told people before. I was just saying to a friend of mine, about maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I said, see, here's a part that people don't get. I was saying before, we should have businesses. Well, guess what? I can hire you and you can hire me. We should do that. Guess what? Everybody else does it. I said, even in your families. I said, why do you think so many people, the PPP pulled them through? Because guess what? They had a business. It was legitimate. I don't mean some fake mess. I mean a business. I said, that way you got the W-2s. You got to have all that. 1099, you can start a company and then work for each other, even if it's contract work, and do a 1099. That way the money going in a circle. Hell, my daddy taught me that. My dad taught me that. And I was a kid, didn't know what it meant, but guess what? It stuck with me. Oh, that's what my father meant. Yeah. I said we should have businesses. We can meet with each other. Guess what? I've had people to give me some information. It was a black man. He did a class on something and it was about investing. Okay. When it was done, I gave him a check. It wasn't a whole lot. Maybe for I think maybe $100 or $150. And he said, what's this? I said, this is business. We're not sitting up for he. This is business. You got all your chart information up here. He said, what? I said, this is business because I invest. So guess what? Look on the check what I put. It's a consulting fee because we're consulting. It was a business invite. This wasn't, hey, we're going to get up and party. No. You came to me as a professional. You know I invest. I gave him a check. Consulting fee. Any questions you have? I said, yep, I already wrote some down. I'll look into it, blah, blah, blah. Nobody else did. And they didn't have to. But it says things like that, we like to just take, gimme, 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 gimme. Nobody wants to give. So I told a friend of mine, I said, see, that's why some of this stuff it's kind of sad. And I see the older I get, don't say anything because people can do what they want to do. I said, but we should have companies we can hire within ourselves. We can hire within ourselves. 1099, do a W-2. I said if that had been done even prior to then, when they were having those programs like PP loans out, I said you could have had people maybe getting those, but no, we were standing back mad at the ones who were getting them. And then some people became so desperate and ignorant that they were sitting up here creating companies that didn't even exist. You got to be kidding me. And we are talking about the government. Okay, try your luck if you like. You might find a new home. Cell Block 8. But it's things like that a lot of our people they don't get until you look up. Then there's no money, and oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? So we may think that ideas like that, oh, that's ridiculous. Well, it could really help someone. You'd be surprised how many people, if we could think like that and actually operate, not just run our mouths, but actually, talk the talk and do the walk. You'd be surprised. You could have little people that have a business. Okay, you know what? I need this project done. It's something clerical, or do this, that, and the other, and just pay. I don't care if it's just $500 a month, a little side hustle. You'd be surprised. Somebody might could use that today. Someone, oh, hey, so and so, can you get this done for me? I got a project for you. I'm going to pay, 800 or 1,000 to get this done. You got 2 months and do this. It might take you maybe what? 3 or 4 hours a week. You got time to watch TV. You can't get that done and get paid. We don't think that way until something happens. But people that do, they get it. And then what? The money goes into a circle. They have a little extra money. They have extra money. They're not scuffing so much. So again, where are the men at? You want to be a ball with some sense. It's sad, like you said, the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it because they know it's a legal matter. Legal matters mean attorney, and that means some money. But we got money for Louis and Gucci and Hennessy. We don't have any money for business, not knowing that's going to be your lifeline. But oh no, we're gonna be good. We're gonna wait for don't we don't need all that because I'm gonna go ahead and get me a job with the other folks. And then they're not hiring. They're not hardly hiring their own. And again, people that own companies, again, of course, we know racism exists, discrimination, but there's also CP. I call culture preservation. They're gonna take care of people in their own culture. Only a fool would, unless you're self-hating. And then there's CA, cultural annihilation. The TDG, the teardown group. So yeah, the elephant in the room, we don't want to have conversations like that. Popcorn knowledge, we don't want that. Like what I said before. Like I made it clear to a friend, we're not gonna start blowing up my phone and then who is this? Somebody, who is this? I'm not an HR department. No, I was telling people, this I'm learning options. We should try to do something in case this happens again where we can always make some money. Because right now this is frightening. I know people personally, we were all six figure. And honey, we were making six figures. They were paying us six figures back when I was making that in 2014. I want to do what I want to do. Look at inflation. You were paying six figures in 2014. We're in 2024. That was 10 years ago. You think $100,000 job or paying 110 or whatever is going to go the same? Are you kidding me? But here's the problem. Those jobs are bye. Tech out. A lot of six-figure careers are over. And the ones I know, it's like nobody's working and it concerns me. When I thought about it, I said, wow, I was telling people we were making that money. And when even in 2020, I was telling people we need to find a way to make money so in case this happens again, we're not stuck out. We need to find a way. Let's try to do business. And then you look up, dealing with some people, our people are so sometimes so selfish and so ignorant. All they want to do is just take, 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 take. All they want to do is just take. Show up for a freelance, then we pick up the tab. Take, take. Even the so-called professional one sometimes. I said, look at this. But hey, I get it. We don't want to talk about it because we're not going to do it. And then when it's too late, when the notices start coming off this beautiful home we have from the mortgage company, now we're in panic mode. But while things are okay, nobody wants, I got $50 till Friday, or I got 50,000 till Friday. We're gonna see how long that lasts. Because Fridays are gonna keep on coming, and you might keep on having to pull from that 50 G's, your stash. So yeah, the elephant in the room, because that means building. Like, no, we're gonna wait and let other people build, and then go ahead and have a seat at their table. Better build your own table, because guess what? I got a news flash. I hate to tell you this. There aren't any seats for us. There's really a seat for hardly anybody. These corporations, honey, they knock it, locking the door. You're not even getting, hello, can I come in there? No, it's that bad for all Americans. And the few jobs that there may be an opportunity, last hired, first fired. So yeah, the elephant has been in the room for a very, very long time. But this here, black women are educated. So where are the educated men? Where are the kings? But time something happened, all those mammoth biscuits, those mammoth boots be ready to run. Boogity, boogity, boogity. We coming to the rescue. They can put up a GoFundMe, all we coming. They can put up a cash app on the YouTube, all coming, coming, coming. The elephant is loud in the room. Keep on walking around it. There are some issues we have to address if it's not too late. So the Fearless Fund, knowing how hard it is, again, I'm asking, what are the so-called men? Nobody wants to talk about it because, again, it's a legal matter. It's going to require it's going to require resources. And that's something we don't like to do because why? A lot of our people, I don't care what level they are, education, we have a whole lot of TDGs in the black community. And I'm out.